If I die tonight, somehow don't pay the good bills.
Yo, tell the people where we're at before you go in.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, warriors of all the nations, what's going on? We're here at UJFM campus getting interviewed by Mr. Yanda for the student night.
Why do you look shook, nigga? Calm the hell down, man.
Shook, man, because this is it, man. This is that Muhammad Ali interview right now. This is that thing that's going to get me shot. This is that Malcolm X interview that say, yo,
Okay, just go.
Tonight, no more, not too much time.
Oh, lala. Kona 6'9", parat. 6'9" kona, parat.
Bongani Fasi with Kushubile right at UJFM 95.4.
What?
Is it not Kushubile?
Kushubile.
Kushubile.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was terrible.
It was absolutely terrible.
Was it that bad?
It was really bad.
Oh, it was that bad. Anyway, so before we went on to Rhino Files and chatted about what is happening with regards to the rhino population of our country, I promised that we were going to let you in on a bit of a secret because coming in, all right, we're going to be chatting to very, very soon. The interview is coming up shortly. You've heard him on the radio, and he's going to be in the house. We're going to be chatting to him. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
Hey, man, I tell you what, that is quite exciting, hey?
It is.
Listen to the crowd. The crowd's going crazy. Hey?
It is.
They really like him.
We really like him.
Yes, we do. So, if you don't know who we're talking about, ThaBlast is going to be in the house, chatting to him at 7:30 for the one and only Student Nights. It's My Job. One of the favourites of the show, actually. It's one of those songs that we just have to play every single time we get the opportunity to do so.
Definitely.
In fact, do you know that it's very rarely on the playlist? We just throw it in every now and
We
then.
do.
We
just sneak it in there.
It is the funkiest hip-hop South African tune on the playlist, and we're going to be chatting to him in just a moment. But for now, let's get back to some tunes. I'll tell you what's also coming up before the end of the first hour of the show. We've got Who's in the News.
Yeah.
Almost forgot about that, in fact.
I'll edit it out. Don't worry.
You know what, to be honest with you, it was playlisted, apparently it's playlisted a lot on the Afternoon Drive show.
Really?
Song. Yeah, they played a lot on the Afternoon Drive. We didn't know that, so we had it playlisted once, okay, on our show. And we listened to it, and I was like, no ways is this South African. And we checked it out, we're like, it is South African. And as soon as we heard it, I said, Ayanda, search. And she searched, and you're a difficult man to get hold of.
I think so.
Very difficult to get a hold of.
We tried hard, bro, to look for that. And every single show since then, we have deleted music and added that song in, bro. On every single show. We're only on a Wednesday night, but we throw it in every time, bro. And every time we do it, we make a little talk about it. Guess what's coming up? We throw it in, and we enjoy the song. The only disappointing part about the song is it's too short.
I know. Honestly, if we were just saying, look, if we had 2 minutes of your life just to talk and just say whatever you wanted, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a lot of time to speak and do a lot of things in the industry. So if you got a gap, fill it. You know what I mean? So 2 minutes all I ever wanted, and I'm just glad you guys like it, really.
Dude, we love it, bro. It's got such a different vibe. You are going to be so different to the rest of the South African artists.
Well, you got to, you know? I mean, you're going to do the same thing as everyone else, or just sound the same.
Of course,
Just continue to defeat the purpose. I really got to apologize about the quote-unquote entourage.
It's an entourage.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, fellas.
I'm sure you have a chair in there. You can sneak it and sneak it. Are you sure? You're used to
We show love like this. Just making sure everything's under control.
Is this song playing on any of the radio stations?
We don't know. We've heard legends of Val at the moment, and these are the sneak peeks apparently. But I mean, we're always supposed to get alerted in these situations.
Yeah, of course.
And we dropped off everywhere. I mean, we did our UJFM.
I thought so as well.
Funny story about Highfield. We did not consider that to be in our list. Really?
In radio. I used to work for UJFM. I worked for Highfield. I was on air for 5.5 years there. I had my own show and stuff. And then I was out of radio for a while, and then I came back here to get it started again.
Yeah.
And I can tell you something like that will probably work on Highfield. You just have to, catch them at the right time. But it's got such a lack of vibe. It really, really does.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We had no clue. I mean, there's no blueprint to this whole music thing. As our parents call it, you're doing this music thing. I'm just like, well, it's kind of a talent, mother, but fine. This is my point. We had no clue of what, Highfield would listen to. We could listen to the radio, but we wouldn't know, So nights like this was supposed to teach us. Nights like this were supposed to show us what's happening.
Tell me something. Do you have any more of your songs here?
Funny story, we do. I believe I gave you guys a disc with like 5 songs on it. All of them were censored. All of them were cleaned up.
Oh, you know what? That was our music manager. And he's only put the one on the system.
I see. Well, look, we brought some gifts just in case. You know what I mean? It used to be in the car. I don't know if you guys still have it on chance. See, this is why they're there. You guys.
No, bring us some discs because I'd like to play 1 or 2 of your tunes.
Yeah.
Other tunes. Give us something else to play. Or something else that looks like it could work.
I tell you what, we got a treat for you actually. We just shot the video for this a few months back. Okay. So now we're about to finish it off, but to get back on air with that. So this is like the latest single off the upcoming project. So you guys can hear that kind of thing. We're registered and published. It's all censored anyway, so you guys are fine in that degree. But trust me when I say this. This is the song. This is a record that will definitely go a very long way, industry-wise, radio-wise, whatever.
This song is gonna hook it. This song is brilliant, really.
It's just kind of interesting. It's like, man, UJ loves it. How's YFM? Why? Okay, Scoop.
They're difficult ones to break into.
But it's unfortunate, the reality is that they have a responsibility. I feel like we all have a responsibility in the business to do everything we can to find the next cool thing, as opposed to just calling friends of ours like, hey, we did not know each other. Astound me. I was just like,
we tried so hard, man. And then you know what happened? Yanda was typing something, and I saw her say something to the blast. And when I saw the blast, I was like, yes, that's a blast. I'm not very good. When it comes to Twitter, I suck, bro. I go on Twitter. In fact, I don't go on Twitter. Yanda updates and updates my shit. I don't go on Twitter. I'm uneducated when it comes to crap like that. But anyway, so I'm old school, unfortunately. But as soon as we saw that, I was like, hey, man. That's why I'm just typing. You like, I BD'd you or something. Like, I was like, what? DM.
That just happened.
I was like, what is happening?
Not bad.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to Twitter, I need a crash course.
You're not
so I was like, no, we need this contact details. He needs to come in on the show. So, and I thought Ayanda had scheduled you up for today, but I didn't know for sure. And when I saw it come through an email, I was like, yeah.
But I tell you right now, honestly speaking, this isn't because I want to station anything like that. I always prefer university stations. I always prefer that you guys have music because this is where it all starts, if you remember. Anytime when it came to your life, your decisions, your careers, high school only has so many avenues, but university is just everything. Whether clubs, societies, radio stations, and for people here to get it, and just to have that urban myth and legend about this guy, ThaBlast, YFM doesn't have it, 5FM doesn't have it, just here, now, like we were the first ones to get it. I think that's even better because...
Thrift shop right here on Student Nights, as I mentioned earlier on, got our very own South African Macklemore. You could almost compare him to Macklemore.
Almost?
I don't know. Okay, maybe, okay, I'm getting a couple of funny looks here. Maybe it's the wrong thing to compare him to, but it's just got that vibe to it. That funky sort of...
It does.
That vibe.
It is funky.
That's
definitely.
it. So we're going to have to stick around to 7:30. Got ThaBlast coming in, and we're going to chat to him about his brand new album that's going to be coming out. And his music that is already playlisted right here on UJFM, so this is where you can catch him live at 7:30. But for now, we did promise this to you, and we have to obviously deliver on our promises. Who was dumb enough to make it into the news this week? Well, let's find out. When I introduce you guys, I'll introduce the entourage. You guys can all say hello and whatever. Just everybody can shout hello at the same time. Just make it fun. But yeah, so we'll take it from there.
And then from there till the interval, we can react. Because sometimes we don't know how you can laugh.
No, you can laugh. It's not a problem. Look, the mic, the most important thing is that just got the microphone. When you speak into the mic, okay, keep it a fist. Try and keep it like that. That's roughly the thing. Just make sure you speak into the mic. Because the thing is, sometimes if you speak like this, I'm not going to hear you properly. So if I point to the mic, then just obviously just try and speak more into the mic.
Right. Cool. So can you sit over there?
All of a sudden it just becomes...
Yeah, I'm just shooting cutaways. Don't worry, I won't use the audio.
And so they're just like, is this the guy for the show? Where was on the mic?
This song is so different to... It is UJFM 95.4. You're locked onto Student Nights. I tell you what, something that grabs me about this song.
Mm-hmm.
So you're listening to this song, right?
Yep.
All time, trying to get all sexy or whatever.
I get what Robin Thicke was trying to say, not you, but carry on.
Okay, well anyway, anyway. Robin Thicke, right, all tied up. Now, take a listen to that. What happened between then and between, like, there and Blurred Lines? I mean, take a listen to this. That is two completely different tunes.
Auto-tune happened, I don't know.
I think
he was doing freaky things with his wife, and then he just decided to just get off on that music as well.
create some Blurred Lines.
Probably. That's what I didn't know, yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty much.
Speaking of tunes,
Uh-huh.
got a special artist coming up in about 5 or 10 minutes. Gonna have ThaBlast in studio. That is who we're talking about. If you don't know who we're talking about just yet, take a listen. Loving this tune. You've heard it on the show before. We've got him in studio, and we're going to be chatting to him live in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So stick around to that. But until then, we're going to keep you rocking.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we do best. To get you ready for your night out. That is Rihanna Stay, the Fresh Gang remix. Right to UJFM 95.4. It is Student Night. We bring you over the best music and, of course, the best interviews. It is time for Student Night. That is exactly what we're talking about. That Kid Turbo, ThaBlast, right here in studio with us. Thank you very, very much for joining us. How's it going?
It is fantastic.
That is great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Attention, UJ. It's a pleasure to be here.
Very vibey, eh? He's got the whole vibe thing going on. At least we're going to have a lot of energy in the room.
Oh no, there's too much of it. You gotta dispose of this stuff.
Slow down, slow down. One of those kind of vibes, right?
Oh,
so I see you brought your whole entourage with.
Yeah.
I see everybody's here. How's it, everybody?
What up?
Warriors.
Sounds like a whole crowd. Do you need that much protection?
I never travel alone. No.
Joburg is a dangerous place.
This place is crazy.
Do you guys come in like a combi, or I mean, like, is it a whole? How do you guys?
We use hazards. You know, it looks like it's a wedding, but you know, it's always fun.
you got those ribbons on the cars.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're outside the window playing the song.
At you.
Attention, Atlantic, move! Like it's nice.
Right, so you grew up in the USA, that's correct, right?
Yeah, Clinton, Maryland.
Tell us a bit about that.
You know, I'm the African kid. I mean, if you guys ever watched, you know, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, I was Kwame. You know, I'm the African kid with all those, you know, attention things of, I can't say your name, it's Thabo, but yeah, you know, it's one of those guys. Yeah. But, you know, that's foundation right there. That's home.
Okay.
Away from home, I guess you could say it like that.
And do you miss it?
Oh, man. I mean, have you seen the women here? I mean, come on.
Oh, that's the way it works.
I'm fine, thanks. I'm all right. Of
course, that's the way it's supposed to work, isn't it?
What better reason, you know, except the fruits of the land. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like, slow down a little bit. We've got the best woman, don't you?
I concur. I'll never disagree with that.
No, neither will I, without a doubt. And tell us a bit about your growing up in the USA. How did things change there for you? What is that specific reason why you ended up coming out here?
Well, look, I mean, historically speaking, you know, this country has had its problems and whatnot, and my parents are from here. So they decided to do something about the problem whilst they could be outside of the so-called danger zone, and they decided to get political outside the country on an exile level. In fact, a lot of the people, from your famous people, like your major leagues and the LES, you know, we're all from the same families. We all grew up in the same areas. So we're all the exile kids, and we came back home when we got a chance. I mean, that's what it came down to, you know.
This has been African-American. That's the whole concept, right?
The original, the real African-Americans. I don't know about the guys with slave parents. I'm like, look, you're not us. You know, we know where we're from.
And one of the questions I've got to ask you, right, to be straight out, do you think your accent gives you a bit of a benefit?
Honestly, it gives me more eyebrows than it gives me benefits. You know, I don't think there's anything worse than, you know, trying to sell somebody a product. I'm like, where are you from? Oh, look, can we do this some other time, please? Like, the reality is that, you know, obviously it's intriguing to individuals, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of my voice. I mean, I can't change it, kind of thing. You know, this is how I come out. So for me, if it's an advantage, if it's a disadvantage, you know, this is what you're gonna hear when we're together. It's that kid.
And it's good because it sounds pretty cool. It's different.
Yeah, well.
Just like your music, and that's why we love you.
Oh,
that's why we love the music. I mean, Ayanda struggled to get hold of you. She really, really did.
I did.
Right, so if you have not put the dots together and you're still wondering, who is actually that guy in studio? Well, take a little listen and you might recognize him. No, that's definitely not him. Oh, no. That's a South African artist.
Of course.
That is Jack Parra. The system is playing a couple of tricks on us, but guess what? I made a plan to fix it.
This new guy, he works here.
This is it. It is ThaBlast with That Kid Turbo right here, UJFM 95.4. We've got him live in studio. Stick around for the full interview right after this tune.
Part of the game is this, sir. I love hip-hop, but I started hating. Singing on her chorus is not hip hop relating. I freaky with it because I used to run tasty. Now I'm like a young Malema trying to crazy. Did you mind who they are? I'm the kid, sir. Get me, sir. This is just a warning. I am so dedicated. Trying to put it like that. They be hitting me. Anyway, for the price, so probably make out the Uncle got to say hi, I'm the kid, son. Hello. It's me, Doc.
This is the funkiest hip-hop tune South Africa owns right now. Do you know that? It has to be. It has to be. The only problem is that it's a bit too short.
I know. Look, to be honest, I mean, you only need 2 minutes, you know? You know that kid, Turbo. He's that kid.
We're through that kid, Turbo. We know exactly who you're talking about.
You gotta get reminded for the same person for like longer than 2 minutes. You don't know him. It's like, he sounds familiar. His face.
That's it. American accent. Because all the girls right now are probably like, I can see Ayanda's eyes are, but
he's like, wow.
Yeah, I see the glittered eyes.
I just want to speak.
I had to do it, sorry. It's one of those things. Okay, so when did you realize that you wanted to be a hip hop artist?
Just threw me back in time, why don't you? All right. Look, to be honest, I mean, everyone has those quintessential moments in their lives. I mean, for me, it was just a combination of them. I mean, I remember being 4 or 5 years old, watching Michael Jackson on stage, and just saying, what is this part of the game right now? This guy's a magician. This guy's a singer. He's a dancer. And then also seeing, you know, Tupac in interviews and saying, this guy is talking how he wants, Mom. Why am I getting censored? You know, everybody has these kind of moments, but I would say it's a combination of those particular moments in my life, being a little kid, seeing amazing artists just do what they do, that eventually led me to say, I need to do that. I need to be that kind of individual. I need to have that impact on the world. And it led to this, you know.
Fantastic. How long have you actually been in the hip-hop industry?
Ooh, define being in. No. Look, to be honest, I've been involved in the local scene, quote unquote, for a good couple of years now, 5 years. I mean, I did Shiznay's like 3 years ago. By the way, thanks, Alan, put me back on the show. But, you know, it depends on you stay in. I mean, you know, people are in the industry, but they're not succeeding. You know, they say we pop bottles Monday to Friday. You're like, oh, really? Okay. But you're in? Are you doing well kind of thing? I mean, I always say you're in the industry when you're making a success of it. So
how long have you been making a success of it?
Does today count? No, I'm playing. Look, I have received a lot of support for my career, you know, since I got in. Yeah. From being with guys like ICU, who are UJ guys themselves, to being with, you know, Run Joburg and Cook the Chef and Ricky Rick. So me just having those kind of people around me, I consider a success. So I'd say a good 5 years, you know, working at it, slowly, bit by bit, building a foundation, you know.
And did you find it hard to break into the music industry in South Africa?
I didn't find breaking into it hard. I found really having a blueprint on how to do it difficult. Trying to actually understand what's the A to Z of being an artist. You know, once you have that, it's a lot. I mean, you get little kids like Willow Smith, you know, who have a blueprint of what to do here, what to do there, and their dad is like, let's make it work. Whereas you walk around UJ, you meet this guy, you meet this girl, and they add on to the next piece of what you should be doing.
Of course.
A lot of artists have a thing of, you know, man, this track was great, but you really should have changed the bass line. We didn't know what kind of bass line we're supposed to have.
Exactly.
It's like we're learning every single day, whether we're in the US or the SA, it doesn't matter. The point is that hip-hop as a whole needs a blueprint, and people are going to continue to find it difficult to get into any of the industries, whether R&B or pop, if they don't have some level of guideline, you know, even if it's some level of education, you know, studying music, studying sound engineering, whatever it takes. Just having something to use to say, that's what I have to do. I have to go meet this guy. I have to go record this kind of song.
And I must ask, I mean, your music is very different to the average hip-hop artist in South Africa. It's got, where did that guitar come from? That's what I need to know. Whose idea was that, and where did that guitar come from? Because I think it is fan-flippin-tastic.
God bless the legend Chuck Berry for that. Johnny Be Good, you know. That's childhood 101. I mean, that's watching Back to the Future as a kid and just saying, man, I don't know what Marty McFly was doing, but this new guy, he's on stage. You know, he's cool. And remembering that and saying, this is who I am. I'm a kid who was watching Back to the Future when I should be watching Rugrats.
And you like that rock aspect to the hip-hop song.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, all kinds of music are great. But rock is one of those genres that has a really interesting history to it. And when you combine it with hip-hop, you never lose. I mean, every time, from Run DMC and Aerosmith, you're like, oh man, this is going to be great. I wish we could do that more in this country. I wish I could see a Parlotones Turbo combination. You know, let's see what happens with that.
That's
but
awesome, yeah.
That for me is my responsibility to embody hip hop, but be willing to say, listen, guys, we don't just have to have a Juicy J kind of 808. Let's throw a guitar on this thing.
Of course.
Let's take it back to 1955 as a sample, and not just have the Temptations. No. Let's use Guns N' Roses on a sample. Let's go for it.
And that is fantastic. That's what makes you you. That really is what makes you you.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to play another one of your tunes called Set Me Free. This was done with Hugh Masekela.
Yeah, actually. Arguably one of the best artists in the country, like, ever since. Yeah. And it was just great to find out that he actually was in Motown. Like, Hugh Masekela was a Motown artist. So it's just hilarious. You know, hip-hop's known for sampling these 70s disco tunes. And I was like, all right, I'll go for that direction. But I'm going to actually find somebody who's from here, who's from that era, and do a record with them. So what you hear is the final product.
That is fantastic. So Hugh Masekela and, of course, ThaBlast in association. And it's called Set Me Free. Let's take a listen to it. Okay, so after the song we're going to talk about, is it a constant battle to break out as an African Yeah, we can run that basically.
African US.
Yeah, going to break away from that now. We're now going to go on to...
Oh man, I have so many cool ideas with that one. Like,
so let's go back. Is it a constant battle to break out as an African hip-hop act without being compared to hip-hop artists in the world?
There's something in particular I need to let people know.
Okay, so we'll go for that. Then I'm going to say, give us your honest opinion on the state of South African hip-hop.
Cool.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Trust me when I say when it comes to me, you'll be fine.
No, personally, I think...
Come on, land yourself in good day.
You try with these things. I mean, there's no blueprint. I keep saying this, guys. Who are you calling?
40 seconds. Tell us, sorry, one other song. You mentioned Proverb in your song.
Yeah.
Do you know Proverb, or did you
met
permission, or is it cool?
No, we met a bunch of times. I mean, I was with him years back at the city. I see him all the time and stuff. So he's one of my favorite rappers in the industry.
I used to work with him. I actually know him pretty well because I used to work with him at Highfield. Yeah. I was actually going to phone him to ask for your details. So I thought that must have been spoken about. You know.
I'm wondering, it's like I gave you my number twice, man. I know I changed the SIM cards, but come on.
19 seconds, guys.
Yeah, do it.
That is ThaBlast with Hugh Masekela. Very, very nice, I must say. Very, very nice.
Shouts to Hugh Masekela, man. One of the best, if not the best in SA.
And I mean, that's really, really cool that you've had the opportunity to record something with him. I mean, that's a nice little, setting you on your own platform there.
Well, I mean, I got a chance. I got to take it, A lot of kids don't even know how to record on a studio. So it's one of those things of you really, really have to take the opportunity and make the best of it. I was glad that I did.
That's it. So when did you... okay, well, give us your honest opinion about something, right?
Right.
South African hip-hop. What is your honest opinion about South African hip-hop?
I'm not happy where it is. We're still afraid. We're still scared. We're still not brave enough to do something different. I mean, truth be told, you see guys like Casper in your vest with a ponytail. I'm like, thank you, that's different, you know, just put a ponytail on the back of your head and spin it. But there's way too many people looking exactly the same, writing the same kind of lyrics, making the same kind of music, and frankly, this is an entire country. We've got to be saying something different. I mean, I don't understand a lot of the local languages. I don't believe I learn any. But the point of the matter is that guys who can talk about things that they're not afraid of. We haven't gone political in this country with rap music. Have you noticed? I mean,
yes, definitely.
You got a U.S. on the stage was like, you know, we're going to talk about Bush. We're going to talk about Reagan. You know, these are guys who are willing to do that. We won't touch politics in SA. Why is that? We won't touch social conditions. We won't touch e-tolls.
The problem is that when you touch politics, it actually brings down the level of your music.
But is that the end of the day? Is that all we can do? Just say, okay, we can't touch it, we'll bring it down.
Look at our leaders, I mean.
Like,
kind of says it all.
No, I hear what you mean. But I mean, I'm from a generation of your Eminems and your 50 Cents and whatnot.
Of course, yeah.
And, you know, you get a guy like him who can make a song attacking Bush, no problem. And people say, bam, that's where we are right now. Nobody's willing to go. And I even said, you know, I'm willing to throw names like Helen Zilla, throw names like Jacob Zuma. And the thing is, this is my political opinion, but I want more rappers to share theirs. I just want to hear all kinds of things from rap, not popping bottles all the time, guys. I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but I didn't wake up in a Bugatti. I don't know anyone who did. Can we just try something, particularly that's us in SA?
Exactly. Do you think too many SA artists, like hip-hop artists, I want to ask your opinion for two parts of that platform, right?
Yeah.
Do you think too many people, first of all, are trying to compete with overseas artists, like trying to be the next, whatever, Dr. Dre, or, they're trying to be those people? Do you not think that's a problem?
Well, look, that's going to happen no matter what takes place. I mean, it's easier for people to put somebody in a box and compare them because it helps them understand what they're trying to do. Regardless of whether that box is right or wrong, they're just going to do it. You know, if I had to take my shirt off on stage, I guess, oh, he's trying to be LL Cool J. It's just like, guys, wait, this is entirely something that I just wanted to do.
Of course.
But also, the comparison now needs to be understood because we can't compare ourselves to the U.S. right now. They've got too much history. They've got too much exposure. It's just not wise as hip-hop artists. If I had to compare us to any form of hip-hop from a previous era or a previous time, maybe 20 years ago, you know? You look at a guy like Ifani, I'm not going to look at him and be like, oh, he's like Lil Wayne. No, I see a Busta Rhymes from 1993. If I see someone like AKA, I'm not going to be like, oh, he reminds me of Drake. No, I might see Will Smith. That makes sense in terms of what's going to happen next. So naturally, if that was what it was before, you can already predict what's going to take place next.
Of course. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because frankly, we know what you want to make, and we know how the U.S. sounds and how we sound, but if you really want an idea of what they're trying to do and get an understanding of what's happening now,
do something different.
There you go.
Just like you have done. Exactly like you've done. What artists would you say inspired you to get into the hip-hop genre?
Oh, man. It's like Jeopardy.
Well, who's your inspiration? Let's say, who's your favorite artist? Who's your inspiration when it comes to hip-hop?
Look, I will say this. The guy who kicked me off into rap music will always be Tupac Shakur. I mean, I was the kid that wasn't supposed to be listening to rap. But the thing is, I mean, it's a guy who wasn't afraid. It was a guy who just said anything. I mean, he was cool, but he had a message. And that was something that I didn't see a lot after that in rap music.
Of course.
Nowadays, I mean, I look at all the guys around me my age in this country and abroad, and, I mean, Doomy and Pro, I mean, these are guys that really embody the idea of we took something from practically nothing and we made an industry out of it. And these are guys that I can still listen to today and say, I love the way your career went. I love the way you're going. I love what could be happening next.
Of course.
I mean, right now, as a guy, just industry-wise, one guy that I'm enjoying the most, it really is Ifani. You know, you get a guy who's speaking Xhosa. I don't know what's happening there. But I watched him at Mustang Heights, and I was like, this guy is doing it.
And if you stick to his music, he'll teach you how to make a milli.
Yeah, of course. I'm like, do you have a check statement account? Is this, can we get this credited? I don't understand. But, hey, the song's nice, you know?
He left out the little bits in between as to how to get to the 1,000 and the 100,000, the 10,000. He mentioned that quite a bit. He left out the detail. But anyway, we're following his steps, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last question before we go into another song here. How would you describe yourself as an artist and your style of music? Considering it's completely different to the South African hip-hop genre, how would you describe your style of music?
You know, I like to say it like this. I call it Afro-hop. What it is that, I mean, these days I've been trying all types of samples and trying all types of artists and performing and whatnot, and even with the rock aspect. But I've also realized that's still African. I mean, all kinds of music come from Africa. You know, our origins of civilization is here. Hip-hop, on the other hand, is a creation as a result of these origins. So I call it Afro-hop because it's a combination of all kinds of African things, whether it be rock music that eventually came from blues music that eventually came from Africa to just hip hop today. So it's my understanding of the world and how it used to be and what it is now, along with your good old-fashioned boom, 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 boom hip hop.
And it's all about having fun.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Something different.
Of course.
And speaking of different, if you want to know what we're talking about, I'm going to play one of your other tunes here, number 5 on your album. It's called A Bomb Rapper.
Oh yeah, I got that name a lot. It's just like, thanks for calling me. I don't know what it means, but
A Bomb Rapper. I'm sure it means you're the bomb. Something like that, eh?
Let's work with that.
We'll work with that. Anyway, A Bomb Rapper from ThaBlast right here on UJFM.
I don't have you on the video.
What? Did you say you don't have me on the video? Did you just say you don't have me on the video? I'm about to go take.
Well, you're on now, man.
I mean, the thing is, I love to just try new things. I mean, you want to, we don't get shows. We're like, hey, guys, you did good, great show. You did it one time, and everyone's like, hey, you gotta do it again. Give us a show. But it's cheaper to call somebody just to go do trade, I'm like, no problem. Like, yeah. Not enough. I mean, we got a gig coming up around Valentine's Day. That's just me and my band, ThaBlast Effect. So that's going to be something fun. Like, we haven't got a chance to do it this year. But honestly speaking, I mean, I want to perform with a live band, and these guys barely have a stage in most places. So it's like, we're going to put out bass guitars. We'll get the amp sometime later on or something like that, so it doesn't really work out. But also, I mean, who do you speak to these guys? You know, who's the hotline to, you know, performances, we. Just give them a call and say, we want to gig this weekend. You got to do so many things in between. Build up a few pages, get a Facebook live, get a account as a blackjack. So these are guys that are like, let's see if we can make it big. It starts from simple fact of just making a good song, taking someone else, and hopefully people get an idea of what we're trying to do and they'll get it. I want more live. I want big shows. I want performances.
That song, ThaBlast. One of the problems is that
That's cool, just even if it's a cappella.
You speaking of
Prepare, write some topics
it's just me watching dinner
or whatever.
and just give them
Whatever.
Okay, great.
Whatever you want.
I put them in there because I want you to realize, look, this is not an American.
But then,
I'm not
make it on the
afraid
spot.
to say that my origin are from this country. You know, my parents
ThaBlast, and guess what? We have him in studio with us. If you just joined us, well, it's too late now. You've missed out on more than half the interview. Come on, what's wrong with you, man?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they just tune in earlier?
Why didn't they?
I don't know.
These people.
Anyway. Well, anyway, straight back into the interview. Okay, so we've been talking about South African hip-hop compared to overseas hip-hop and all that sort of stuff, but breaking away from that, all right, you've got a pretty cool stage name, ThaBlast. I mean, that comes across powerful.
Yeah.
Where did you get that name from?
To be honest, I mean, I remember someone actually saying it out loud to me, like, this guy just blasted the mic, and I was like, that's not bad, that's kind of cool, because my original stage name was Turbo.
Okay.
Taken from the great, 80s entertainer Michael Boogly Chambers, a.k.a. Turbo from Breaking. And that was my name for days. And someone suggested that, it's a Turbo Blast effect because I used to rap really, really fast, And then they said, I think ThaBlast represents it even better. It's just always going to be a blast of music. It's going to be a blast of energy. It's going to be a blast of attention.
And you have a blast performing.
There you are.
That's it.
Yeah, it's always a great time whenever I'm on stage, whenever I'm with people. Just being around guys who are rapping normally. I'm like, all right, let me blast this right quick. Has nothing to do with violence. It's just like, let's have a good time. Let's have a blast. Let's do this. Of course. Yeah.
And I mean, that's part of the fun, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's all part of the fun. And what a brilliant stage name. It really does work. Especially your number one track there on the album, That Kid Turbo. That really is very, very cool. Love that tune.
I mean, everyone's going to remember me at some stage as, didn't we used to call you Turbo? I'm like, no, that's not me. I don't. And I think you think of another kid. Remember the
Caterpillar?
Yeah.
Butterfly.
Like,
I was Caterpillar. I'm now Butterfly.
Thank you.
All right. Turbo, ThaBlast. Get used to it.
Right.
Simple. Now, obviously, you get around and you perform here and there and whatever. Tell us an interesting story relating to the workplace. I mean, workplace being a rapper and stuff. Give us an interesting story.
I'll be honest. I think everybody who's into rap music will know if you're not performing a lot, you're going to have a real job. It's like something that's to pay studio time. Like,
I know what you mean.
You know, rappers are like superheroes. We're like, all right, put your rap hat on at night. In the morning, I gotta go
Wake
work. But at some stage, I was working, you know, just doing promotion stuff.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, here's this guy. I mean, I was on Shizness a few years back. Just live, you know, debut kind of thing. Thousands of fan things and whatnot. And I'm really promoting like fragrance. I'm just like, this is a job. I had to pay for that studio time. Gotta do it. Here I am like promoting to this lady. You know, I'm just like, yeah, we got a great product here. She just looked at me and she goes, "You're Tebo, ne?" And I was like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it was a moment, it was just a great moment of this is exactly what South African hip-hop is. It's real. It's supposed to be real. The reality of we rap as much as we want and we can get on TV. But when we have to get a real job to support our dreams and our goals, sometimes people remember, they're like, I know you. I'm like, I didn't rob you, did I? Old life.
You sold me fragrance last week.
You're like, you're Turbo. Like, and that's my whole life.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the important part. I mean, creating awareness out there of the brand. Because that's what it is. You're a marketing manager of your own brand.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what it's all about. Getting it out there, you know. And speaking of marketing that brand, how can people get hold of you? Where can we join? I mean, Facebook, Twitter. Because let me tell you something. We needed you on this show. We tried very hard. Ayanda tried. Can you hear how quiet she is?
You actually didn't repay me for that, just by the way. But I'll let Michael carry on.
She is
so many tweets coming her way. Just
the reason why Ayanda is so quiet is because she's so out of breath of trying to get in touch with you. What? Getting you here on the show. Not to mention.
I have to say, I'm so sorry. Like,
it's all starting.
Look, attention. Here's how we're gonna do this. All right,
This
Twitter.
is how you get hold of you. Let's even cut the bed music.
All right, here we go.
Be serious, yeah.
Attention, Blasty. All right, Twitter at ThaBlast. No hyphens, no triggity tricks, no underscores, nothing. ThaBlast. Facebook.com/ThaBlast. Throw an effect. So Facebook.com/ThaBlastEffect. This is the fan page. This is our foundation. This is where it gets started. Anytime you hear that name, you're going to see tweets from that particular individual coming from that page. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning. Facebook.com, The Blast Effect. Twitter, @ThaBlast. Instagram, @ThaBlast. Oh my goodness. You're going to have a blast following me. You're going to have a blast.
Really that difficult, Ayanda? The blast.
Listen, okay?
There's no
I tried.
hyphens.
I went onto Reverb Nation and I had to formally ask you to come onto the show because this is my job as a content producer.
Reverb Nation @ThaBlast. There we go.
I followed you to Reverb Nation. I just could not find your contact details.
She even followed you home.
I was just going to make that joke. I was like, here it is.
I was the one driving that black car, just by the way. I was detailing you 3 cars behind.
Is that why you asked me if you can leave at 8 o'clock?
Probably, that's why. I saw you following back home.
I see. Just make sure you get home, sir.
But I need to ask you a question. It's a request, actually, for me.
All
Because it was so hard to get a hold of you. Could you do just one favor for me?
Mm-hmm.
Please, can you freestyle?
Here it comes. Here it comes. All right.
And wait, I want you to freestyle about beautiful African girls. Versus USA girls.
Okay, let's try this out.
You're going to put them up against each other.
Okay. We need this to, you need to reflect your true talent now, hey?
Uh-huh.
Alright, Blast Effect season. At the Blast Warriors, let's get into it right quick.
We're going to do it, hey?
Alright, let's do this to it. Alright. Have you ever known a diamond? A real African queen that keeps shining? See, everybody knows rappers keep grinding, but when they see that beautiful girl, they need signing off of their hearts and their emotions. When it comes to African girls, I show devotion. Ayanda, girl, you looking so proper. Everybody knows I want to give you proper dollars. It's a crazy, but everybody knows on you, I'm not hating. See, American girls, they need that weed, need the perm, but everybody knows I gotta leave them alone. See, you a gem. Everybody knows you gonna win. If not macking you is a sin, then please, Heavenly Father, let me go to heaven, cause everybody knows that you, girl, you my win. Blast.
Oh! Listen to the crowd!
Turn up! Turn up! Turn up!
That was absolutely incredible. Whoa! Hey.
I'm gonna put my shirt back on. Y'all can't see it.
Ayanda, you also put your shirt back on.
My shirt is down. Like 3 buttons down already, and you just like contain
No,
yourself.
just slow down. One step at a time, Ayanda. You can do this. It's not difficult.
I'm done, Michael, thanks.
You see, I mean, she gets like this from time to time.
Oh my gosh.
It's in fact, Ayanda, just step up to the microphone quickly. I just want to, she's trying to talk over there. Let's just see what she has to say. Listen to that heavy breathing, hey? I know that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll behave myself now.
I
Otherwise, she's gonna get rid of me.
Oh.
I better be careful. I'll tell you what, ThaBlast, thank you so much for coming through. We really appreciate taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and sit with us and have a chat on air. And I'm sure it won't be the last time we hear of you right here on UJFM.
Can I get 10 seconds shout out? I know I'm going to get hit if I don't do it. Just
go for it, man.
All right. First of all, to my mom. Mom's still in school. Don't worry. It's okay. I'm studying tonight. Just don't worry. Shouts to Look and Listen for giving me a good old-fashioned job. I'm not going to talk about the pay online because, let's be honest, it's going to be getting me fired. Shouts to the Warriors, Hubs and Bills, who really put me on. Big Monday. P, CJ from the Warrior team, we're going to eat this year. Don't worry, no more KFC. We'll have restaurants, baby. It's going to be fine.
Nice.
Most important, I got to give a shout to UJ where I started. UJFM, thank you so much for giving us the beginning again, because frankly, it's going to be 2014, the Warrior season. Hashtag Warrior season. Let's go.
That's it. Thank you so much for coming through. And thanks a lot, and I'm sure we will definitely see you again.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. Right, so that was it. Say to Mike, you see, Ayanda, student nights. Thanks, whatever the blast was.
Bear in mind, the handwriting is a doctor.
That's fine, bro. That's how it's supposed to be.
But I'm just... And then can we get a quick shot before you guys go back on here? Just a quick image.
Basically down the podcast or compliment. What I'll do is we'll send an email and we'll get the from our producer. And once everything's put together,
I'll just say hi. I'll handle it. You know it's me.
Okay. Just get Ayanda's mail, just to drop her a mail. Ayanda, we need to send a mail to Sipon and ask him to...
Oh, I don't know. Alright, well, shall we? You guys. We them niggas!
Turbo. Turbo, let's kill it.
Actually, ThaBlast. Real talk, one day, homie. I really appreciate everything you do for us, man. You are the man that's actually frozen time for us, dog. Just want to say thanks again. Warriors, see! You
forgot to shout out K, nigga.